Hello and welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. My name is Joris and I want to wish you all a very good 2024, and I hope that it's going to be a good investment year, 2024. And for me, the year will start off great because I already hit my 10 subscribers, so I'm really happy about that. And if you aren't subscribed yet, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below, or also comment down in the comments down below what content you like, what content you would like next, and whether or not I'm on the right track, yes or no. So it would help me out a lot. So takeaways from 2023. In 2022, we had a performance of plus 3%. It's not a lot, I know. And this year it's only plus 7% when you look at the other stock market indexes, like the Nasdaq 100, that's up 55%. This 7% is not great, I know that, but my wife and I, we are still happy, we are still moving up, and we don't take losses as well. So last year in 2022, making a profit of 3%, mainly due to our dividend reinvestment strategy. Yeah, we did quite well compared to the other stock markets indexes, but this year we performed quite a lot. So Dow Jones plus 14% and we are only up 7%. So that's not great at all, but we are still happy. And one of the most important things that we are happy about is that our savings rate is increasing, and especially towards the end of 2023, our savings rate was increasing quite a lot. So as you know, we started investing with only 300 Swiss francs, 300 euros. We converted Swiss francs to euros to invest in SDGPEX. So that's the ETF where my wife and I started investing our money into when we had the 300 euros every month. And every quarter like that, we try to invest 900 euros into SDGPX. And that's also something that hurt us right now because, yeah, the Swiss francs is quite strong and the euro dropped quite a bit compared to the Swiss francs. So the exchange rate was 0.99 in the beginning of 2023, and now at the end of 2023 it's 0.93. So that's already a drop of 7% that we have towards a great part of our ETF portfolio. So SGPX is more or less 90%, 92% of our ETF portfolio. So yeah, when the euro drops compared to the Swiss francs, that hurts our overall return, of course. So then we are really happy about still gaining the 7% this year. And then, of course, last year there was almost nobody that said, we have a loss of 16%, we have a loss of 34%. Nobody was talking about it, but this year on the forums, all the people that have a high return, they are bragging about it. So people with plus 70% this year, it's no exception because when you invested in Nvidia, that went up over 150%. Yeah, then it's not hard to have a good return, of course, but good for them. But I look at the Nasdaq Composite that went minus 18.5% in 2022, and this year it's plus 30%. So when you combine those two, the Nasdaq Composite went up 6% in 2 years, but my wife and I, we almost gained 11%. So we beat the Nasdaq Composite over the past 2 years. So you can always find an index that you've beaten, in which time frame or which valuta or whatever. If I convert our stock portfolio into dollars, we even match the Nasdaq. We the Nasdaq Composite almost. Then we went up 18%, so almost 12%. It's of course a big difference, but yeah, it's you always have to look at things in its own perspective, and then you have to keep an eye on your own goal. And for my wife and I, it's to keep the dividend snowball rolling and making it bigger and bigger and bigger. Unfortunately, our biggest dividends come from euro, and that hurt us this year a bit. And I'm going to talk about it on the end of this video as well. What's the consequence of dropping to 0.93? But it's like that, so we have to live with it, and we are going to keep going, and hopefully we will reach our goal of in about 23 years to have 3,500 Swiss francs every month in dividends coming in. So about our core satellite investment plan. So a few months ago, I presented our core satellite investment plan, and it looked like this. So with all the ETFs, later on the names will come, but I will only mention one new one. So we had 3 stocks that we owned and 3 ETFs. So it was the 3 stocks and the 3 world ETFs that we had. And the plan was to buy new FLXD one with 10% in the core, and VHYL, because VHYL was going to give a dividend at in halfway December. So the plan was to invest in the beginning of December more into VHYL that we already had. And what happened? Yeah, so we sold the stock. It was a stock that went up quite a lot in the end of November, beginning of December, and it reached a point that our valuation said, okay, it's worth selling. So we were positive on the stock, and it was also a stock that didn't give us a dividend. So we sold it, and we immediately reinvested it. And we reinvested it in FLXD and VHYL as we envisioned. But because of the problems with the euro compared to the Swiss francs, we decided to invest also in the LDEG, which is more or less the same as the FLXD ETF, but that one goes from Swiss francs to euro in dividends. So you invest Swiss francs and you receive euros as a dividend, compared to the FLXD one, which is also investing euros and receiving euros as dividend. So we decreased the percentage of the FLXD one to 5%. We increased the LDG and VHYL, yeah, because that one was zero, of course. We increased that one to 7.5%, and the VHYL to 7.5% as well. So in total, it's still 70% in the core and still 30% outside the core. And those remained the same. The QYLD, XYLF, and EMHD received the same, stayed the same. But the real estate one and the energy one, we reduced with 1% point, because those will be the last one we will invest new money into. So now we have 2 stocks, 11 ETFs, and 4 ETFs on the bench. So we still like those 4 ETFs as well, but momentarily we are keeping it to this plan. And at the end of January, when we receive our our wage, then we will try to invest towards GLDV again and in QYLD or XYLF. So we haven't decided which of both we are going to choose. So the Nasdaq, it's a bit because it went up 55%, the Nasdaq 100. Maybe we are going to invest in the S&P 500 instead of the Nasdaq 100, but my wife and I still need to decide on that one. So yeah, it's still under debate. But we own two stocks and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ETFs. So these are the names. So the LDEG one, it's the LNG Quality Equity Dividends ESG Exclusion Europe ex UK UCITS ETF. So Exclusions Europe means that it's a European based one. So it invests its money in European stocks. Ex UK means that it's not including UK stocks. So a lot of European ETFs are with UK in it, but this one doesn't have it. So the FLXD one that invests in Europe, they include UK stocks, but this one doesn't. And UCITS ETF means that it's buying to the European rules of ETFs. And then of course those ones stay the same. So VHYL, the FTSE or World High Dividend Yield ETF. And as I said, so LDEG is Swiss francs to euro and gives a dividend on the months March, June, September, and December. SGPX, I already mentioned in the previous video, GLDV as well, and CHSPI as well. You can look at that one as well in the series that I made of ETFs investing in Swiss stocks. So it scored quite high there, but CHDVD is of course the best one, but that one is for our little girls, so I'm not going to talk about that again. And these are our satellites. So the Franklin European Quality Dividend, euro from euro, that's why we put it outside the core, because we already have one important one that needs investing. So converting Swiss francs to euro in order to invest in it. So this one will be the one where we start reinvesting the dividends in. And I think it's a pity that we maybe will stop reinvesting the dividends directly into SGPX. But yeah, we need to make a choice. So I will keep you updated about that. But up till now, so for over 6 years, we are investing and reinvesting all the time the dividends into SGPX of our 300 euros a month plan or 900 euro every quarter plan into this ETF. And the world energy sector one and the high dividend emergent market one, they require dollars to invest into them. And the idea is that VHYL, GLDV, QYLD, and XYLF will deliver enough dollars to start investing in these two ETFs. But firstly, we are going to invest in the emergent market one. And when SGPX isn't 90% of our portfolio anymore, but around 50%, I think we will start investing in these two, so in the real estate one and in the world energy sector one. And the good thing about the real estate one is the Swiss francs to euro, but the difficult thing is it's a Dutch ETF from Van Eck. It's a really good one, but yeah, the dividends, they still take 15% of the dividends before you receive them, and that's something that really hurts the reinvestment plan. So yeah, it's going to be one of the last two ETFs where we will reinvest the dividends in. So we will see about that. I think it's going to take over a year before we start investing in these two ETFs. So we are first going to build up the other nine, and then think about those two. Then, how much do we actually have invested? Because I haven't mentioned it. I once showed our CHDVD and or CHSPI portfolio, and in a video that I deleted because it wasn't that great, I showed how much stocks we had from SDGPX, but I will come to that in a later video with the Excel file as well. But momentarily we have 1,257 SDGPX shares, so that's quite a lot, and we are really happy about it. Only thing bad about it is, of course, our euros that that went down compared to the Swiss francs. LDEG is 97 shares because it's only around 10 Swiss francs on the SIX stock exchange. FLXD we have 39, GLDV we have 40, and VHYL, and I think that one costs around 55 Swiss francs. So yeah, it's around 2,750 Swiss francs that is invested in VHYL. But in total, we have 38,160 Swiss francs invested on the stock market in ETFs. The stocks I don't mention. You know how I think about that. I don't think it's that important. I'm not a financial advisor, and naming stocks, besides naming stocks in general. So when I give an overview of the stocks in the SMI, I can give them all, I can list them all in order of some parameters. Then I don't say which stocks I own. I don't, yeah, how do I say it? I don't promote the stocks that I own as well. So up till now, I haven't mentioned them, which ones my wife and I own, and I don't think you will ever know it as well, because I don't think it's important for you to know that. If I lived in Australia, I wouldn't be allowed as well to say which stock which ETFs that I own. Although those are already more diversified, I think it's important that you know which ETFs my wife and I invest in with our dividend oriented vision. But when I make videos about ETFs, it will be always like the world ETFs and the Swiss ETFs. I will always give an overview and list them, and you can make up your own mind which one suits you. And also, still remember, I only mention ETFs that distribute dividends. So I don't give an overview of ETFs that are accumulating. So you have VHYL, that's the FTSE All World High Dividend, but you have the FTSE All World ETF from Vanguard as well, or you have the All World that gives a little bit of dividend each year, so not the high yield one. And it's up to you to choose which one you prefer. So I'm not going to mention those that aren't distributing dividends, but know that they are out there, and when it suits your strategy more, you have to look them up yourself and make your own decisions. So I'm not going to decide or say that you need to invest in those ETFs because I do it. It's my wife and I, we made our plan, and that's what I am presenting right now. So what were our dividends in 2023? So yeah, SDGPX 1862.40 euros, so quite a lot. And the most important one, because we are already investing in it for a multiple of years. And then of course we have the other ones where we only received one time a dividend in this last quarter of 2023. So GLDV $11.87, VHYL $22.16, and LDEG and FLXD with 3.12 and 7.23 euros. Not high amount, because that's the most important quarter for them is the one with June in it, because in June they give the highest dividends. So then this amount will rise a lot next year. And if you look at the totals, so the stocks, the two stocks will gave us a total dividend of 225 Swiss francs. These ones amounted up to 1,872.75, and the dollar amount was 34.03. If we don't invest in the next year and we keep it as it is right now, we will receive 237 Swiss francs from our two stocks. We will receive 2,160.19 euro from LDG, FLXA, and SGPX. And from VHYL and GLDV, we will receive 167.22 dollars. So excuse me for that. And if we recalculate that into Swiss francs with the current exchange rates, that will be 2010 Swiss francs from the euros and 140 Swiss francs from the dollars, which gives a total of 2,387 Swiss francs. Or on the total that we have, 6.25%. It's a mistake, of course, because I calculated it in with the stocks, and that's not completely correct. It's 4.35% for our ETFs, and then the 2% extra comes from the stocks. I need to recalculate it a bit. How much is it? I think it's 5.7%. Oh, I made a mistake here, so I'm sorry for that. But 2,387, that's the right prognosis for next year. If we don't invest and reinvest our dividends that we will receive. So that's not too shabby at all. And yeah, the thing is, we are below 2,400 again. So we were above it, but the dollar amount, the dollar dropped a bit, and the euro dropped quite a lot the past month. So we were above 2,400 Swiss francs with our portfolio, and now we are below it. So man, I really need to change that. But thank you for watching, and have great parties if you are celebrating the new year. If you are from China, I think you won't be celebrating for another couple of months. But Happy New Year in advance for you then already. And thank you for watching, and see you on the next video on my YouTube channel. Bye.